Hello, Colonial hockey fans. Tim Benz and Mike Pursuta with you, your play-by-play team for Robert Morris Hockey. Pleased to be joined, as we always are. Another conversation with Derek Schooley, head coach of the RMU hockey program, coming off a victory against Army, as now the Colonials are set for a long stretch of home games at the Island Sports Center. They got Holy Cross this weekend, Bentley next weekend to wrap up January, then Canisius coming to town to open up February before we get to a home against Niagara, with the home game coming on Valentine's Day, February the 14th. Derek, your team is like Leonardo DiCaprio. Once you get home, you're not
Wait a minute,
leaving.
time out. Tim, does that mean you and I are spending Valentine's Day together?
Oh, the three of us are together for Valentine's Day, just the way the Lord intended. Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, who made that schedule?
Well, you usually say fire the schedule maker, but I only do the non-conference portion of it, so I can't take blame nor credit for having you guys together on Valentine's Day. But it seems like it's been forever since we've played a long stretch at home. We went 7 of 8 on the road. We played extremely well. All these games, Air Force, we played well. Which was before break. Sacred Heart, we came back and should have at least got something out of that weekend and got nothing. And then RIT played extremely well again and losing overtime, and finally got rewarded last game against Army after another overtime loss. I think a lot of it comes down to us. We've got to score more goals. Our expected goals, analytics, all that are extremely high. Scoring chances are extremely high. We outchance the other teams. We just haven't been able to put the puck in the net like we thought we would this year so far. A little bit to do with injuries, but also we've got to do a better job bearing down around the net. And, for the most part, we've done pretty good defensively. Now it seems like every mistake we make ends up in our net, when every mistake they make is just so close. And as you know, close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Well, Derek, let's start on the injury front. Maybe you can get us up to date. It seems like there's at least one of note at each level, with Charlie Schenkel between the pipes, Michael Craig on the blue line, and Ryan Taylor at the forward position. Let us know about how those guys are recovering, if there's anybody else that's on the mend that might be back for this weekend.
Well, Max Wattville, who broke something in his leg. I'm not sure what bone it was, but he is back skating. He's getting closer to be returning. He's sooner than later. At some point, we should get all 3 of those other guys you mentioned out back. But those are big losses for us. Obviously, Charlie had been our starting goalie. We played without him for the last 2 games this past weekend, and then with the overtime in the last 4 minutes against RIT after he made a save on a breakaway and couldn't get up. But he's closer. Michael Craig got hurt against Sacred Heart. Ryan Taylor got hurt against Sacred Heart. It's a shame because Michael Craig was defenseman of the month in December, and then was out basically right about the same time. So we should get them all back here within the next couple weeks. It's just a matter of when and how they progress. But we'll be healthy as getting those guys back, at least as you can, headed into the final stretch drive.
Derek, as you continue to look for more offense, some guys starting to find the net. You had January 10th at RIT, Bruce McDonald got his first goal. Friday night at Army, Justin Beaumont and Trent Wilson, first goals. And then Saturday, Luke Van Wy, first goal. Mike, that turn the faucet on for some of these guys.
We hope so. It's Julian Beaumont, not Justin. But you know what? I think the one thing we've been looking for is we've been talking about the guys who haven't been scoring, and they've been playing extremely hard. They've been competing. We started to get some secondary scoring this past weekend with Beaumont scoring, Wilson finally scoring, Van Wy scoring. Now we need our top guys to go at the same time. We got an empty net goal from Klimke. We got a goal at RIT from Klimke. 2 goals, like you said, Bruce McDonald, and I can't even remember who scored the other goal against RIT. should be fairly easy because we haven't scored as many. Michael Felsing scored against
really nice
RIT on a breakaway.
Effort. Yeah.
Yes, it was. But we've been talking about the guys who haven't been scoring. It's time for the guys who can score, who have scored, step up. And it's our top guys because they're the ones that are counted on in those scenarios. They get the power play minutes. They get the 5-on-5 offensive zone draws. They get the most ice time. So we need to make sure that everybody steps up. So we need more scoring from our bottom end and more scoring from our high end guys to make sure that we're not just losing the race to three. We haven't scored three very much, but our last game against Army, whether it was with an empty net goal to get to three or not, we got to three. And I think when we get to three, we're really good. So that being said, we need more scoring from everybody, but you can't hold it on the bottom end guys. We need everybody going. We need our top end guys to go. We need to get more from our bottom end guys. And they're not bottom end. They just play different roles. They were all scorers. Every one of these guys was scorers in junior hockey, or they wouldn't be playing college hockey. So now they're just cast in a different role. So if you can get more from, say, your 7 through 12, 7 through 13 forwards and continue with your high end, your top six scoring, that's a big deal. So we're getting there, and hopefully this, we've been trying, we've been working, we've been getting chances. You can't say a bad thing about our effort. It's just, we're getting outscored.
Derek, what about the goal prevention end of things? And let's start with the shutout that you had the other night with your third guy to go in as a starter, Massey, who shut out the Black Knights. Talk about his effort and the play in front of him.
Yeah, Lucas played outstanding. We were really good in the second and third. We outshot Army 32-9 after it being 13-13. So we kind of dominated the play, but they had a 5-on-3 where he had to make some big saves. The saves that he made were huge saves. So Lucas did an outstanding job. His second career win. He got one at Army, his first career shutout. It was his second start for us. He started a game at Lindenwood. We had a 2-0 lead in that game. Lindenwood came back. He wasn't thrilled with his performance. He more than made up for it. It was a really good outing for him. He put one together at Sacred Heart in relief of Charlie in the first game back. So we're really pleased with his performance. And that's not to say Croy has played poorly in his starts. He's been a victim of the race to three. They got to three on him, and we haven't been able to score. And both of the losses that Croy's put up have been 3-1 losses. So you can't fault our goaltending one bit on any of our losses since we've been back. It's just we need to continue to play hard defensively, continue to get really good goaltending, and now we got to start contributing on the offense because we're getting better and better in the net, better and better defending. Now it's time to start doing a little bit more on the offensive end of the puck too.
Yeah, and the results you mentioned, you're not getting maybe what you think you deserve, but you go back to that Sacred Heart series. Right before that, you won at Air Force, which is a tough place to win. The RIT series was good, lost one in OT. Army lost one in OT. Is this frustrating or encouraging on the part of the players, do you think, that they are very close?
I would say both. I think if from the players' perspective and the coach's perspective, because I feel so bad for them because we work so hard. We've done an outstanding job in the last 3 weeks since we've been back of blocking shots. Our guys have been selling out. On Friday night against Army, John Babcock had 9 blocks alone. So you feel so bad because they're doing everything the right way. Our forecheck has been really connected. They've been doing a good job of creating turnovers and creating offensive zone time. You can go down the list of things that we've been doing well. So to say that frustrated, feel like we're on the right path, sad, all of that stuff comes into play because we're not playing poorly. It's just we're not finding enough goals to win the hockey game. And that's you're judged by wins and losses, and you're judged by your production. So we need to make sure that we get a little bit more so we can crank up a little bit more wins. Nobody says, well, how many games should you have won by analytics? they say, how many did you win? And I'd rather lose. I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. That's for sure.
Going back to a point you made, Derek, and your assistants brought it up to us too, the Sacred Heart weekend. It's not just looking at the forwards. You can get some help from the blue line too, and you got that against Army with the goals from Elliott and from Van Wy. I know you mentioned Van Wy at one point, but Babcock and the block shots, those two goals. How has the blue line been for you of late?
Pretty good. Dom Elliott really took a step up this week. You're not going to replace Michael Craig's minutes with one person. You're going to have to replace him by committee, and everybody's going to have to take a larger role. And John Babcock defensively as a freshman, blocking shots, killing penalties has been great. Van Wy was very good this past weekend, as was Gabriel Lund. And I said Dominic Elliott took a big step in making his game. He was a little frustrated before break with his game, and he was able to produce a little bit offensively from the blue line. Our power plays changed a lot with Craig and Taylor not there. So that's a portion of our game that really can improve, because our penalty killing has been great. And then you throw in guys like Greg Japshin's been very solid as a 50 4-5D, and then we've kind of rotated J.R. Ashmead and Rasmus Larsson, and neither one of them have hurt us. They contribute, and right now we've been going with 13 forwards just to make sure that, well, at least the last two games, in case somebody's not going, and we got some ability to be flexible. But previous weekend, Rasmus Larsson was good against RIT, and J.R. Ashmead was just as good this week. So we've got a little bit of a competition battle on the blue line for the last spots, and you throw Max Wattville back in the mix, and then Michael Craig will be back. It breeds a lot of good competition for our D-Corps.
Derek, you have Holy Cross coming up this coming weekend. They're third in Atlantic hockey. After that, it's Bentley, the leading team in Atlantic hockey. But you just, as we've mentioned a couple times now, you just played Sacred Heart and RIT, and even though the points weren't there, you held up well. Do you look at the next couple of series in particular as maybe a potential launching pad for the second half of the season here?
Well, this is the hardest stretch we'll have in the next 6 games so far this year, with having Holy Cross come in, who is a defending league champion, Bentley, who went to the NCAA tournament, and Canisius, who just swept RIT this past weekend. So there's a good group of teams coming in, and this will be a big challenge for us. And we've got to start getting some home wins under our belts. I think our only home win this year has been against Niagara early in the year. So we need to make sure that we start protecting home ice a little bit more, especially with 7 of 8 coming here at home, and start taking points from the upper echelon teams. And that'll really help us climb, because right now we're in the midst of, we're so close to getting that out of that first round 7 versus 10 and 8 versus 9 series. But we've got to make some hay at home, and beating some of those teams will really go a long way, because they haven't lost as many games as they've won.
Wanted to circle back to Craig for a minute, Derek. You mentioned how difficult it is to replace his minutes. He's done so much for you. Coming on the heels of him being the top defenseman in the Atlantic last month in December, can you just sort of highlight what he's meant to your program to this point, and how the guys have sort of rallied around his absence?
Well, being a 2-year captain, this is his second year as a captain. He logs a lot of minutes for us. He's a good guy. The guys like him. The guys respect his work ethic, everything that he does. And I think those are things that you can't put a price tag on, the intangibles. And he's our Eric Carlson. He's our top guy that has kind of went out right now. And we've got to have everybody, like I said, everybody step up. And Krager's been played a lot of minutes for us, played a lot of games for us, and has been outstanding. So now it's somebody else's turn, and then hopefully when he gets back, we can be even better than we were previous, especially if we can get everybody going at the same time. This is where we've always felt that our group is needed that internal competition, and through injuries, we've had some competition that we not as much competition as we'd like, because if you get guys that are pushing other guys, it makes everybody better. The cream rises to the top when you've got a lot of internal competition. So we need to make sure we do that and continue to move forward. And one by one, we're going to start getting healthier and making sure we stay healthy, because we've been bitten by the injury bug here over the second half, the last 2 years now, losing Klimke last year and now losing Ryan Taylor, who was our leading scorer at the time when he got hurt. He's still third on our team in scoring. He's only 3 points out of the lead, and he's played 5 less games than Klimke and Garvey. So losing him was a big deal. Losing Craig, who had 9 points in 18 games, that's a guy who runs your power play. That's something that's a big loss as well. So hopefully the injury bugs stop and we can get everybody healthy and get that competition rolling again.
You mentioned how well you guys played, especially in the second and third period, the second game at Army. I thought Massey was really good early for you. How critical is that when the guys maybe don't have the legs going right away in a game? And the real significant question, did anybody get on the bus after that win and say, I like winning, it's like better than losing?
Yeah, that's a staff thing. That's a staff we have out. I love winning. You got to look the Nuke Lelouch quote up. I love winning. We send that out amongst our staff when we win. We all chuckle. But yeah, so that went out after we won. But Massey was really good. Our first 5 minutes, Army was all over us. And once we settled in, I think we owned the rest of the 55 minutes. And probably one of the hardest saves was the first one. They shot a puck out in the slot that hit our shin pad and ricocheted harder than a shot back at Lucas. And he had to make a massive save off of our shin pad from the hash marks in. And that might have been the weirdest save that he made. But he was lucky. They had a crossbar early, but he settled in just like the team did, and we made it easy on him. But he also made some massive saves, especially the 5-on-3 that we had to kill late. We had to kill 2 5-on-3s this week and a 5-minute major, and went unscathed. So usually when you're able to kill that, we had to kill a 5-on-3 and a major on Friday. Usually you end up winning those games. And then we had to kill a 5-on-3 on Saturday. So our penalty kill has been outstanding lately. And now we need the other end of our special teams, our power play, to get going. It seems like we just don't have everything going at once. You plug one hole, you get a leak from somewhere else. We just have to have everything going together at once. And hopefully that's sooner than later.
So when you brought Lucas in, what did you notice about him? What did you like about his skill set that said he's going to be good for us? And where did you want to see him make progress as a Colonial?
Well, I mean, he had a great junior hockey career in the USHL. He was very good in that league, and he went to Union and got behind some really good goaltenders there at Union. And he had played a little bit, but they made some changes as far as what they were doing in net, and we felt it was a chance to increase our, to use a football term, our goalie room, and with bringing Charlie Schenkel and Lucas in, and Croy still being here. So we thought that with he's not massive, he's not huge, he's 6'1", but he's got a great calm presence about him. He stretches regularly after the games. He meditates. He's a pro. And you walk in the Island Sports Center sometimes on Sunday, he's working behind the front desk, besides going to class. And he's a pro's pro, and he's professional about the way he goes about his business. And while Charlie Schenkel's bigger, and he's got that pro kind of look to him, and that's why he went to the Senators and Penguins camp. Lucas has got this really good college goalie kind of look about him. And he didn't have a great outing against Lindenwood, and he would be one of the first to say it. But he really responded really well, and it makes our goalie room a lot deeper.
Did you ever ask him what he meditates about?
Why would you? No, that's his own private meditation. He might be, who knows what he's believing, but as long as it works, I'll let them do what they want to do. And but no, he's always stretching, he's always doing yoga, he's always meditating. All the
I think he
goalies got
meditates
their,
about stretching.
I don't know what he meditates about, Mike, but they all got their routines. They're all goalies at heart. I mean, Croy likes to stay on the bus a little longer than everybody else when he starts on the road. Charlie likes to he's a little bit more outgoing, but he likes Tim to make sure that his body's through the massage gun and through seeing the chiropractor and all that stuff. So I think every one of them's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, they're all goalies.
Well, Derek, appreciate you joining us. Glad to see you at home for a number of weeks in a row here. As we said, 7 of 8. So we encourage people to come on out to the Island Sports Center. Come see the Colonials at the RMU Island Sports Center Clearview Arena starting this weekend against a good Holy Cross team. And then, like Mike said, Bentley after that. A very good team atop the standings as well. So make sure you come out and see the Atlantic Hockey League. A lot of it right in a row, 3 straight weeks in a row. And then we'll split for the 4th week and get Canisius in here too. So it's going to be a really good run of hockey over at the Island Sports Center over these next few weeks. Derek, thanks. Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you again this weekend.
No, I appreciate you guys. And hopefully, like you said, we have some really neat events this week. The Pittsburgh Warriors are playing before our game on Friday from 3 to 5. I believe Ryan Malone is going to be in attendance, dropping the puck. He does a lot with the Malone Foundation, the Pittsburgh Warriors. I believe he's going to be here on Friday. We have a skate with the Colonials after the game on Saturday. We had a really good crowd against Sacred Heart in the afternoon game. We should have the band back. We should have the students back. It should be a really good crowd, and hopefully people come out to see a really good weekend of hockey. And like I said, Pittsburgh Warriors, thank you for their service, and hopefully people come out to see Ryan Malone as well.
I was
Awesome,
also
Derek.
trying to send you a little vibe there a moment ago. I was doing a little meditating while Tim was wrapping up. I think you might be on. Your goalie might be on to something. I may try this.
I'd like to see if Ryan Malone could get a couple shifts in for us.
Hey, you know what? In college basketball, if they're allowed to come back from the G League, I think Ryan probably has some eligibility somewhere. So it should be good for college hockey too.
Yeah, well, he was a good college hockey player. He already played, so I don't know if he's got anything left. But if he had anything left in the tank, I'd take it. That's for sure.
Derek Schooley, the Colonials head. You can watch Mike and myself, Flow Hockey, and on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Make sure you are meditating and watching with us as we give you all the play-by-play of RMU at home for the next few weeks. This has been our latest conversation with Derek Schooley, head coach of the RMU Colonials here on the RMU Hockey Network.